Good day everyone. Welcome back to Matinik. Ang pag-uusapan natin ngayon ay applying percentages in various contexts. Ginagamit ang percentages sa iba't ibang fields. For example, sa inflation, sa discounts ng prices, sa mga enrollments, at marami pang iba. So let's start. Percentage change indicates the extent to which a quantity has increased or decreased in relation to its original value. It is often utilized in finance sales, budgeting, and data analysis. So, ibig sabihin, yung percentage change, hindi lang siya increase, pwede din siyang decrease, no? So, kapag may pagbabago sa percentage, that means there is a percentage change. So, we have two possible result. If the result is positive, it indicates a percentage increase, while if the result is negative, it indicates a percentage decrease. For example, if while solving, the result is positive 15%, so that means the value increased by 15% from the original. Another example, if the result is negative 10%, that means the value decreased by 10% from the original. Let's have an example. If the old price is 600 pesos and the new price is 650, what is the percentage change? So as you can see, from 600, it increased to 650 pesos. And by what percent? Let's find out. So this is our formula. Percentage change is equal to new price minus old price divided by old price. So just substitute the new price is 650. So we put it here minus the old price is 600 times 100. 650 minus 600 is 50 divided by 600 is times 100 is 8.33%. So that means there is an increase of about 8.33% in the prices. Example 2. If the enrollment is 500 last year and 550 this year, what is the percentage change? So as you can see, from 500, it become 550. So there is an increase of enrollment. So that means our percentage change is positive. So let's find out. We have still the same formula, the current minus the previous divided by previous times 100. So percentage change is equal to 550, which is the current or this year, enrollment this year, minus 500, which is the enrollment last year, divided by 500, enrollment last year, times 100. So 550 minus 500 is 50, divided by 500 is 0.10, times 100. So we have 10% increase of enrollment from the previous year. Another example, if stock value is down from 120 pesos to 90 pesos, what is the percentage change? So as you can see, from 120, it goes down to 90. So there is a decrease. So that means our result should be negative. Let's find out. New price minus old price divided by old price times 100. Let's substitute the value. New price is 90 pesos. Old price is the 120. So we have here like this. 90 minus 120 is negative 40. Divided by 120 times 100. So we have negative 25%. So that means there is a decrease of about 25% in the stock value prices. Next example, if the previous rent is 15,000 and the current rent is 16,500, what is the percentage change? So again, we still have the same formula, current minus previous divided by previous times 100. So don't forget the 100, the multiplier 100 because it converts the decimal form into percent form. So the current is 6,500 minus 15,000 pesos divided by 15,000 times 100. So we have 16,500 minus 15,000 is 1,500 divided by 1,500. So we have 10% increase. Okay. Next, if your savings decrease from 8,000 down to 7,200, what is the percentage change? So same formula, current minus previous divided by previous times 100. So the current savings is 7,200 and the previous is 8,000. No? So like this, 7,200 minus 8,000 is 800 divided by 8,000 is 0.10 or 0.1 times 100. So we have 10% and negative our result. No? So we have negative 10%. It means the savings decrease about 10% from the original savings. So let's discuss inflation. What is inflation? It is the general increase in prices of goods and services over time, resulting in decrease of purchasing power. Okay, so that means as prices increases, the purchasing power of peso decreases, no? So kung dati nakakabili ka ng 20 items sa 1,000 mo, ngayon possible mga 10 items na lang. It's because of the inflation. So how inflation affects the cost of goods? When inflation occurs, everyday items like rice, bread, or gasoline become more expensive, meaning your money buys less. So ito nga yung sinasabi ko, kung dati nakakabili ka ng maraming products sa 1,000 mo, so ngayon, yung 1,000 mo, konti na lang yung mabibili dahil yun sa inflation. Next, adjusting wages for inflation. To maintain the same standard of living, wages need to increase at a rate like inflation. If wages stay the same while prices rise, people effectively earn less. So it's very important no, na that the government must increase the salary of or wages of Filipino workers because um, because of the inflation, no? Kasi kung pataas ng pataas yung mga prices at yung mga sahod is hindi tumataas, so lugi yung mga uh, Filipino workers, no? So this should the wages must increase. So the rate of inflation formula, we have current price minus the previous price divided by the previous price times 100. So katulad din kanina ng ginagawa natin. Example, if rice costs 40 pesos per kilogram in 2020 and 55 pesos per kilogram in 2024, what is its percentage change? So yung formula natin is the current price, which is 55 pesos, minus the previous price, which is 40 pesos, divided by the previous price, which is 40 pesos, times 100. So 55 minus 40, we have 15 divided by 40 times 100. So the result is 37.5%. So the rice increases by about 37.5% from 2020 to 2024. Another example, if jeepney fare increased from 9 pesos to 12 pesos, what is the percentage change? So ang mahal ng pamasahe, no? Nag-increase, ibig sabihin there is a positive percentage increase. So using the formula, 12 minus 9 divided by 9 times 100. 12 minus 9 is 3 divided by 9 is uh, 3 over 9 times 100. So you have 33.33%. Pag-usapan naman natin yung markups and discounts in business. So, difference between cost price and selling price. The cost price is the original price paid to acquire or produce a product. So, ito yung original price, no? While the selling price is the price at which the product is sold to customers. So, ito na yung pagbenta sa customer. So, ito yung formula natin. Yung markup is same pa din. The selling price minus the cost price divided by the cost price times 100. Eto, we have this formula for the discounted price, no? So, discounted price is equals to original price times the quantity 1 minus the discount rate. For example, if the selling price is 1,000 and the discount rate is 20%, how much is the final price? So, ang gagawin lang natin is substitution lang. Yung original price is 1,000. So, we have 1,000 here times 1 minus yung discount rate is 20%. Yung decimal form niya is 0.20. So, we have 1 minus 0.20 is 0.80. 0.80 times 1,000 is 800 pesos. So, therefore, the discounted price is 800 pesos. Let's talk about value-added tax or VAT. So, in the Philippines, VAT is a 12% tax added to the price of goods and services. So, businesses collect VAT from customers and remit it to the government. Kaya importante, lagi tayong nire-remind ng BIR na humingi ng resibo dahil yun sa VAT, no? So, kasi imaginein na lang natin kapag bumili ka sa tindahan tapos walang resibo, pero yung prices nila included dun yung VAT. So, ang mangyayari, yung product, yung binayad mo sa tax is hindi mapupunta directly sa gobyerno, kundi mapupunta lang sa mga negosyante. So, eto yung formula natin. We have the so-called VAT exclusive and the VAT inclusive. The price without VAT formula or the VAT exclusive is equal to VAT inclusive price divided by 1.12. So, magdi-divide lang tayo para mahanap si VAT exclusive. So, si VAT exclusive, ibig sabihin, wala siyang value-added tax. Si VAT inclusive naman, kasama na yung 12% na value-added tax. Let's have an example. Example, if yung VAT inclusive natin is 112 at yung exclusive natin is 100, our VAT or value-added tax is 12 pesos. So, paano naging 12? Isusubtract lang natin 112 minus the exclusive which is 100 will result to 12 pesos. Another example, if our VAT inclusive, meaning kasama na yung VAT, is 560 pesos and our exclusive is 500, meaning kung hindi kasama yung tax, 500 lang yung price. So, the value added tax is 60 pesos. Ganun pa din yung process. Sinubtract lang. 560 minus 500 is 60 pesos. Then, another example, if the given is VAT exclusive, meaning hindi pa to or wala pa tong tax na dinagdag. Tapos, yung value added tax is 144. Ito yung idadagdag natin sa exclusive. So, what is the VAT inclusive price? So, ang gagawin mo lang is 1,200 plus 144, which will result to 1,344. Let's practice what we have learned. So, example 1, Mariel is buying the following school items at a bookstore's back to school sale. So, yung notebook is 60 pesos pero may 20% off. Yung ballpen na set is 120 pesos tapos may 10% off. Yung backpack is 850 pesos tapos may 25% off. So, yung tanong, calculate the total discount for all items. Magkano nga ba yung masasave ni Mariel? And letter B, determine the final amount Mariel pays. So, magkano nga ba yung babayaran niya kung ibabawas na natin yung discount? So, our solution, una, yung notebook is 60 pesos times 20% is 12 pesos. So, yung 12 pesos, ito yung discount or ito yung masasave ni Mariel from 60 pesos. So, yung ballpen set is 120 times 10% is 12 pesos. So, makakasave din siya ng 12 pesos or yung 120 is mababawasan ng 12 pesos, no? Then, backpack, 850 times 25% is 212.50. So, para makuha natin yung total discount, i-add lang natin itong mga discount. 12 plus 12 plus 212.50. So, we have 236.50 pesos. Letter B. Ang tanong sa letter B is magkano yung babayaran ni Mariel. So, yung gagawin lang natin is yung original price is 60 plus 120 plus 850 which is 1,030. Eto, no? Yung original price. Tapos, isusubtract natin sa sum ng total discount. So, 1,030 minus 236.50 is equal to 793 pesos 0.50 centavo. So, eto na yung sagot. 236.50 yung masisave ni Mariel sa lahat ng binili niya. No? Okay. So, another example. A store sells a calculator for 1,344 pesos, which is VAT inclusive 12%. So, nagbenta ng calculator na 1,344 kasama na dito yung tax na 12%. So, what is the VAT exclusive price of the calculator? So, kung tatanggalin natin yung 12% na tax dito sa 1,344, magkano nga ba yung price? How much VAT is included in the price? So, magkano nga ba yung value-added tax na nadagdag dito sa 1,344? So, let's find out. So, yung VAT exclusive price is 1,344 divided by 1.12. So, di ba yung formula natin, VAT inclusive price divided by 1.12. So, ganun lang kadali yung formula. Ang result is 1,200. So, etong 1,200, eto yung price na wala pang tax. No? Then, how much VAT is included in the price? So, yung amount mo is 1,344. Ito yung selling price. Minus 1,200. Ito yung walang tax. So, yung result is 144 pesos. Ibig sabihin, yung tax na nadagdag sa binili mo ay 144. So, isipin mo na lang, etong 144, dahil hindi ka binigyan ng resibo, so possible hindi ito mapunta sa gobyerno. So, sayang din. No? So, kaya, mas maigi na humingi ng resibo. Another example, Jomar bought 10 sets of pencils for 150 pesos or 15 each. He planned to sell each set at 20 pesos. But to sell faster, he reduced the price to 13 pesos. The question is, first, calculate his total sales. Magkano nga ba yung benta niya kapag assume natin na nabenta niya lahat ng 10 sets of pencils? Tapos, ang tanong sa letter B, did he gain or lose money? By how much? Absolute and percentage. So, magkano nga ba yung nag-gain niya or na-lose niya? Tapos, kung ano yung equivalent percentage. Letter C, what should be the selling price have been to earn a 30% profit? So, magkano nga ba dapat yung pagbenta niya para kumita ng 30%? Okay, so let's find out. First is calculate total sales. So, yung total sales niya is 130 pesos. Bakit naging 130 pesos? So, 'di ba? Meron siyang 10 na sets of pencils. Tapos binenta niya ng tag 13 pesos. So, 13 times 10 is 130. Kaya yung total sales niya is 130 pesos. So, how much did he gain or lose? So, si Jomar ay nag-lose ng 20 pesos. Kasi isipin mo na lang, no? 15 pesos yung pagkakabili niya. Tapos binenta niya lang ng 13 pesos. So, 150 times, 150 is the original price, is the first price or the cost price. While yung selling price is 130 pesos. So, sinubtract natin 20 pesos. So, lugi siya ng 20 pesos. So, in percent form, 20 divided by 150 times 100. So, the result is 13.33%. Ibig sabihin, in percentage, yung 20 pesos is equivalent to 13.33%. Letter C. What should be the selling price para mag-earn siya ng 30%? So, yung gagawin mo lang is 15, the price of pencil sets. Tapos, i-multiply natin by 1.30 or 130%. No? So, yung sagot is 19.50 pesos. So, ibig sabihin, para kumita siya ng 30%, kailangan niya ng 19.50 pesos na pagbenta para kumita siya ng 30%. Okay, so may tanong ba? Kung may tanong kayo, comment lang sa comment sections. And try yung sagutan nito at ilagay nyo na lang din yung sagot nyo sa comment section. Bali, thank you for watching and God bless. See you on my next video.